Sthapakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharmasvarupine avatara varishtaya Ramakrishnaya te namaha. A word, Bhagavan is beyond three gunas. We saw what is these three gunas, the sattva, raja, tama, with which this universe, the entire universe, has come into existence. And the same cause has created innumerable lives in this creation. Sattva, raja, tama. We are able to know each other. I am able to understand. I have the self-knowledge, whatever knowledge be it, and I am having the awareness of the surrounding. I am aware of myself and aware of the surroundings. Each jiva, living being, has this self-awareness and awareness of the surroundings. And this knowledge, cognition, grows ultimately into knowledge of the true self, knowledge of this entire universe and the beyond, eternal thing. So from our limited knowledge, we grow to the fullest knowledge. From imperfection, we go to the absolute perfection. From the limited individuality, we grow to the cosmic and beyond. So, this cognition part is sattva, and going beyond into the knowledge of the eternal is beyond sattva, trigunatita. So, knowledge, whatever form, and the what grasps this knowledge, conceives this knowledge, and understands this knowledge becomes a part of sattva, senses, mind, intellect, and the ego, which understands. The whole becomes sattva. And when these dissolve, we see the Lord. Lord is beyond sattva, raja, tama. Raja is the activity. From a small atomic configuration to the vast movements of stars, we see every object is in constant moving, constant flux. It is moving, expanding, contracting. The Srishti Sthiti Pralaya is constantly going on. Every object is coming, spending some time and going away. We all, Jiva's bodily existence appears, lives for some time and disappears. The cycle is continuing endlessly. This rajas is not there. We enter into inner world of silence and stillness. We see in every object there are two aspects with the rajasic movement caused by the rajas. There is stillness side by side to recognize that movement. Within us, if we go beyond the mind, we start perceiving inner silence and inner stillness. This is rajas, sattva, raja, tamas. All the material objects include everything, including mind. Mind is settled ego is part of intellect, which is still more subtle. Senses, body, physical body, and all these matters around. Everything is a material aspect. It exists in matter. Matter is precipitated energy, which, because of its density, appears dense. Space is the rarest matter, and it's a combination of all the five elements. The tamas aspect of the five elements become the physical matter. Sattva, Raja, Tama. We see we have to go beyond tamas, all material aspects. We have to go beyond rajas, all types of movements and actions. We have to go beyond sattva, all the perceptions and knowledge to get the knowledge of the Supreme. Paravidya. All these come under the Aparavidya, including the greatest discoveries and advancement in the science and technology, all pertaining to material world. There is the spiritual world. When the play in the material world ends, the spiritual entry into the spiritual world comes to our life. So we have done great advancement, unimaginable, the computer science and all, if you see, and the various spacecrafts that go to far off, the exact specification at what time, where will be the moon or the planet, how to land it, how to get it back. The whole thing, advancement is unimaginable. And we see it is material. The moment you close eyes, nothing is there. So, material, however you go, you will never attain peace. A few little bodily comforts you may go get, but it would be better you physically also take the hardship. The more hardship you take physical, the more healthy, more sound you will be. And all things material, we are going away from the spiritual, the ocean of bliss, peace. You see in Bhagavata, we see Dhruva Maharaj, small boy, his stepmother, stepbrother, neglect the considering as tuchha and sending away, the discard that he experiences. He aspires for the highest and approaches God for that. He does get. God satisfies his dreams. He wanted to be beyond even the Brahma, the Creator. He does get that state. Dhruva. For many kalpas, he'll be the king of the entire universe. But what of it? Last he realizes, oh, after all, it is within the material world. It is within the time and space. Where is the beyond? Where is the eternal? The Lord waits for the time to fulfill all his desires. And when you get the highest, also, it is as good as playing with small toys. The child doesn't want to part with the toys to any other boy. He is possessing and holding. There is no difference between him and one great scientist in the material world or the possessor of the whole powers of the world. Nothing. So It ends. It has a beginning. It has an end. How many great people we saw, very powerful people, and they all have gone away. The world remains as it is. The material life, material power, material attainments, all are ultimately proves to be meaningless. But all I wanted in my life was just the love of God, to transcend this nature and go. So in Hinduism, the most important part was given to mukti, mukti from this relative existence, and to enter into the transcendental realm, freedom from the prison house, and freedom from the prison house to enter into the eternal freedom of the soul. So this is what we see, the great difference, and how the Lord relates himself to every jiva and goes on making various types of arrangements time to time. So many types of saints come, so many paths emerge to reach God. So many states he provides for the jiva to experience God. In Shiva Purana, we see the 5 types of mukti. Salokya, Sarupya, Sarshti. This is a special, commonly we know the 4 Sarupya, Salokya, Sayujya, and Samipya. These 4. Sarshti is included in the Shiva Purana, the 5th one. 2. Salokya is what we see to be in the same place, dwelling in the same place, where Lord's intense presence is there. And we see Arjuna and all these people, Pandavas, even Duryodhana and all these people lived in the same time, in the same place where Krishna lived. Now in Ramakrishna Advent, we see direct disciples, so many householder disciples. All these people lived with God in the place where God had descended, on the same earth, in the same time, in the same proximity. We can call this as the Salokya. In the same loka at the same time. I saw a few sadhakas also doing intense sadhana to be with God when He comes again to this world. I think in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the Goswami writes, laments, oh, I missed the great opportunity to be in the Salokya with Lord. When He came to the earth as Sri Krishna, a few thousand years back, or whatever period he was on the earth, I was not there with him. Now I have been born, and how much he laments upon this. I could have got there. So many Gopas, Gopis, so many people got in Rama Avatara. So many monkeys could live with Rama at that time. And this is a kind of mukti phase of Salokya. And wherever God's given the really ever released souls, among which we get the Ishvara Kotis, Ishwar Kotis are those selected realized souls, the enlightened souls, Jivan Muktas, who prefer to remain even after the creation ends in the trans-relative existence to appear again and again with God when He incarnates. Each yuga when He incarnates, they want to come. And the Divine Mother also selects them. So it's a kind of salokya where intense manifestation of God is there. They descend. And they wherever it need not be in the during avatara only, even in the transcendental realms, what we call Goloka, Gokula, these places beyond the different realms of existence, beyond this creation also, it is possible that the soul after release, if such a thing is not there also, God has no limitations to create a loka. When He has created the whole universe, one which never dissolves, remains, where His presence is practically experienced. It can be there. When universe is there, any lokas can be there. And independent of this plane in which we live, Bhuva Swaha Janata Satya Matala Vitala Sutala Talatala Rasatala Patala, all these are included just in the one universe. And millions of such universes are there. And the place where God can manifest and be there eternally. Sri Ramakrishna says, in the ocean there will be places where ice never melts. So such places God may create because of the great longing of devotees to be in His presence. So this is also called as the Vaikuntha, Kaivalya, that is Kailasa. All these places, now we think of Ramakrishna Loka. There are so many realized souls, liberated souls, enlightened souls in this path, taking Sri Ramakrishna as their ashraya. They all may be longing. The Leela of the Ramakrishna might be enchanting to their heart, and they want to move about with the Master. And a loka, by the longing of all devotees, may manifest, has to manifest, because God is such a kalpataru. Whatever devotees wants, He will provide. So this is called salokya. Samipya, to be in the constant company of God. During avatara also, or beyond after the body falls off, they may enter into the eternal relationship in the transcendental realm. They can remain. Wherever God can manifest and be with them, sarupya, to have the same appearance as God. Sayuja, to get merged in Him. Sarti is to have opulences equal to the Lord's opulences. Aishwarya, Siri. What all Lord possesses, as if the various powers, they too want to have those powers in their own way. Just like children want to play house game, their father provides an artificial house for them. All the kitchen arrangement, this, that, a small car to move about, and all these things. What the father is using, all that the child also wants to have. So the father provides to his satisfaction. He is equally pleased. He is equally powerful in his own way. He can drive a car. Father has a big car, and father runs about here, there. He too about in his own playground or in the front of house. He runs in that small car, scooter, cycle, and all the even cooking materials, small items, artificial fire, fireless fire, and all that. How he provides, and that exactly with the same a small mobile also. Hmm. And the child is completely satisfied. Identity of possessions also. So this is sarshti. Or in sarshti, he may merge in the Lord and be Lord himself. Hmm. To be, suppose, the power of Srishti, Sthiti, Pralaya. uh, If he wants to do, he has to merge in God and be a part of it. Otherwise, some time may come when God wants to create another, this Sashti Mukti person wants to dissolve it. Hmm. So, for fun I'm telling, but the all the Aishwaryas, what Lord possesses, when it comes to Shiva, Sashti is a biggest grace. He doesn't possess anything. And he has given himself entirely to the welfare of the world, and he is always in bliss. It is this his Aishwarya is Vairagya, his Aishwarya is supreme jnana, his Aishwarya is compassion for the jivas, the compassion to the extent he is ready to take halahana. These are his Aishwaryas. And for body, there is vibhuti, the ash that he covers. These Aishwaryas, anybody gets, he would be blessed. So specifically, this Sarshti concept comes in the Shiva Purana, and Shankaracharya we tell him to be the incarnation of Shiva. The Shiva himself has taken the birth. We don't think in that line. In Amsha of Shiva also has come, need not be there. But what all Aishwarya he possesses are there in that supreme knowledge, jnana, that compassion for being which makes him struggle for the welfare of the society, dedicate his whole life to earn the spiritual wealth and give to the world. And that vairagya, total dispassion to the world and worldly things. All these Aishwaryas of Shiva are there in Shankaracharya, Adi Shankaracharya. So we say he is incarnation. And when he leaves the body, we say he is merged in Shiva. That is, the same qualities which emerges from Shiva are here. They are supposed to merge back in their source. So we see that the Sarshti has taken place. Sarshti Mukti. He has become one with the Shiva. He was in the Shiva consciousness. He was in the Shiva. When we are in particular consciousness, our awareness is filled with that. My whole being is pervaded by that. I am in Sarshti Sthiti. Now, thinking of Vishnu, my awareness is fully filled with Vishnu. Gopis and Gopas, you can see. They used to become themselves Krishna, thinking of Krishna. This is also a part of the Sarshti, where all the features, all the behavior, thoughts, feelings of the Devata manifest in this bodily existence and pervade the whole being from the spiritual existence to the bodily, external bodily existence, it's filled with the Lord's awareness. So all the things God possesses, He also possesses. So being one with the Lord in every respect. God alone is there in this body. He is no more there. It is Sarshti. The individual has disappeared in the God consciousness state. So these are the various aspects of bhakti and Navada bhakti we saw. And coming to Sri Ramakrishna's life, we see an entirely different phase of bhakti. The Navada bhakti are condensed, and as if these Navada bhaktis are squeezed into one, all mixed and squeezed out. It is bhava. From his early life, we see he is in a kind of bhava. Bhava is emotion, a love of God in a way it is expressed each time when it expresses, the total body awareness disappears. And this bhava we see when he becomes a pujari in the Dakshineshwar Kali temple. We see him beginning with simple worship. From the first day, early days of his pujarihood, Mother, do you exist? Ecstatic love of God is to dance, and on one side, nights he would go and sit for deep meditation, enter into the depths of his own being in search of the reality. Mornings he would sing and dance and jump. To the extent he is in the bhava always. This bhava is a intense, condensed manifestation of the love. A love condensed. Love is as if squeezed, and the love is from the pressurized cabin, it is emerging out. This kind of bhava was important, which matures. It increases its magnitude. It increases its capacity. It increases its power of manifestation. Like a bomb blasting. The bhava, when it enhances within itself, it is when the container is no more able to bear that um, force of love. It is called Mahabhava. And ordinary beings, human beings, however great be they won't be able to contain. So this Mahabhava, Bhava to Mahabhava, only Mahabhava we see Radha getting in Bhagavatam, Mahabhava. Bhagavatam specifically it doesn't come. Radha's name also doesn't come. But Mahabhava concept appears in the in-between lines. You have to read and understand this Mahabhava. And Bhakti, all Bhakti later schools, we see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all this, we see the Mahabhava manifesting in their bodily existence, which only incarnation alone can manifest. That we see in from Bhava to Mahabhava going, wherein many signs, 16 signs, are there in the bodily, unable to bear, they burst out, like a volcano it comes out. The bhava, the ecstatic love, it pours out, and it is called Mahabhava. Where is God? Where is the Bhakta? When in that state, nothing exists, neither the world nor the individual. God alone is there when love of the bhakta is dissolved into love. Even bhavas are sufficient. And in Ramakrishna's case, we see a unique thing that ecstatic love of God is to make a particular devata manifest. And then devata will merge in him. This is a unique thing we see. Getting vision of God is one. The particular aspect merging in Sri Ramakrishna is another thing we see. Means how the Bhakta and Bhagavan plays, how the Trigunatita concept we have started, but we have to know Sri Ramakrishna a little deeper to understand the bhakti, which is now Sri Ramakrishna says, Amara Ambhuguli Vedvaitantu Chadi Gechi. My experiences have crossed the Vedas and Vedanta in Jnana. Similarly, in Bhakti also we see him. He has crossed all the limits of Bhakti schools also, wherein each Devata appears and merges in him. Each Devata appears, we merge in the Devata. But we see Sita appearing and merging in him, Hanuman appearing and merging in him, each Devatas appearing, Christ manifesting and merging in him. This is a different type of bhakti which bhakti schools do not dwell upon. A new thing, and the bhava mukha concept also is a new thing. We will see Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Pranamastu.